Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I would like to talk to you about the possibilities of a food shortage just around the corner and maybe give you some ideas and share some ideas that I've done to store food.
Just start. We're finished.
Quick finishing pass, not too bad, and I'll probably do that.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. He's safe and far on the range.
So the reason we're talking about food shortages today in the possible near future is because if meatpacking plants did shut down, and hopefully are going to be reopened soon, and if farmers are dumping milk down the drain by the hundreds of thousands of gallons, and if government agencies are going to certain farms and euthanizing the chickens at mass, we are probably going to see some sort of food shortage, either large or small, in the very near future. So here are a few things you can do, and this is more geared toward the people who don't have a green thumb or live in an apartment or maybe living in a homeowners association. These are simple little ideas that you can do and maybe add, 10, 20 bucks a week to your shopping list, and then you can have some food storage in the future. Now, there's many different ways you can do this, and this is just the way I do it. You guys can do it however you want. Anyhow, what I like to do is I like to get 5-gallon buckets. Now, 5-gallon buckets, generally speaking, are $5 a piece. If you go on the website before you go to the store, generally they can be had for about $3.50 a piece. Then I like to get myself some Gamma lids. Gamma lids are great. They're basically air and water tight little lids. And generally speaking, they're about $4 to $8. It kind of depends on where you get them. You just take the lid, you snap it down. There is a seal on the inside, and there's a seal on the cap right here. You just screw them down, and you're ready to go. So just a few things that I like to do. I like to have at least a bunch of them filled with, rice, good carbs, beans, good for protein. Throw them in there. A few other ideas. I like to get a few of these. You can either get canned chicken or these packets of chicken. These packets are kind of nice. They come in a little smaller, servings. Chicken salad, barbecue, a whole bunch of different ones here. But I like to put these in there. Remember, if you're going to be eating a lot of the same thing, have a bunch of spices in there, because having just a different change of flavor will actually help out a lot if you're eating a lot of the same stuff. Canned goods, canned tuna, fruits, vegetables. Try to remember to get that kind of stuff too, just so your diet doesn't change drastically. Dehydrated pastas with different flavors, that's always a good idea. Beef jerky is always good. And honey never goes bad. After it's been opened, if it goes through 5 or 6 heat cycles, it can firm up a little bit, but you can still eat it. It's still edible, and it's energy. A few other things. Water will be an important one. You can buy just a case of water bottles, or you can get some containers. HDPE, high density polyethylene, is always a good one. And then you should have some sort of water filtration system, or you can get something that kills bacteria and stuff in water. Bleach works really well, but bleach has a half-life of 6 months. If you get calcium chloride or pool shock, these granulated calcium chloride tablets, about a heaping teaspoon, will make 2 gallons of bleach, and those 2 gallons of bleach will turn around and make 200 gallons, or be able to treat 200 gallons of water. So there's different ideas like that you can use. Other good ideas to have is tobacco and alcohol, even though you don't smoke or drink, or if you don't smoke or drink, or coffee. These things are great little trading commodities, because let's face it, the stuff that people value now probably won't value in the future. Another good idea is to have a lot of salt on hand. If you do happen to go hunting, remember, everybody's going to be hunting at the same time, so there's probably going to be no wild animals within a couple of weeks or months. But you can pack meat with salt. Salt is also a good energy. It's basically half of what Gatorade is. You got sugar, you have salt and water, and that gives you electrolytes. Anyhow, once you slap the tops on these things, I like to put maybe a Bic lighter on here, because they have these nice little cutouts. And then I like to put either dryer lint or some sort of wood chip, some sort of fire starter, just in case you need to start a fire, because you can even boil water or use ultraviolet light to purify water as well. Now, stacking them, if you got like, let's say 5 or 6 ones that are just rice and beans, a lot of weight, stacking them up, you will end up developing a crack around this base here on the Gamma lid, because they're just not meant to be stacked. But what you can do to alleviate that is you can grab the old newspapers that you throw away or keep, magazines, anything like that, something that can help as a fire starter. Put about a 1/2 inch thick worth of magazines on there, and then you can sit there and stack them up about 3-4 high. It will probably be just fine. I would kind of watch out how high you start stacking these things, because if they tip over, they do create one heck of a mess. You can also use the paper bags that you use at the grocery store. Get 5, maybe 6, 10 of them, stack them up, and then that'll actually help displace the weight so the lid doesn't crack. Anyhow, just a few ideas. I hope this helps someone out there. Try to get ready for this, and remember that loose is fast, brakes only slow you down, and storing food really isn't wasting money because you can always just eat the food. You guys remember, be safe, have fun on the range, and we'll hope to see you next time.
Shut out the light and make believe. Shut out the light and make believe. It's for the first